Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. We're aware of the 5 tragedies that the Mishnah in Masechta Taanis records that occurred on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. The luchos were broken on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. The carbon tamid was abolished. The walls of the city of Yerushalayim were breached. They burnt the Sefer Torah. A Avodah Zarah was put up in the Heichal. In more modern times, my good friend Reb David Offman brought to my attention, as well as Michael Schwarzschild, that another occurrence happened on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, and this was a discovery made by Rav Mendel Kessen, and it is certainly worthy of our attention. Something happened 248 years ago, July 4th, 1776, the founding of the United States of America, the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. The United States of America began July 4th, 1776, Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. Incredible. How then are we supposed to view this great experiment of the United States of America? Does it fall in line in the prism of the 5 tragedies that occurred on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz? Because we know that even though 5 tragedies occurred on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, nevertheless, the seed, the latent potential of Shiva Asar B'Tammuz is one of great hope. Chassam Sofer writes that Naomi and Rus came to the field of Bayaz on Erev Pesach. They stayed there for 3 months. They were there on the 15th day of Tammuz. Naomi tells Rus, "You'll go to him tomorrow, and he will tell you tomorrow on that day whether he'll marry you or not." Chassam Sofer writes, how was Naomi so confident that Boaz will tell Rus whether he would marry her or not on that day? Says Chassam Sofer, because that night would be the 17th of Tammuz. And among the Bnei Yehuda, they did not consider that a good time. It was a very ominous time, and therefore they would refrain from getting married once the 3 weeks began. And therefore Naomi was confident. She tells Rus, he will tell you today whether he will marry you or not. And indeed, he married her that day, and he consummated the marriage that night on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. And that very night, Oved, the father of Yishai, the father of David, was conceived. So even though Shiva Asar B'Tammuz is a time of tragedy for the Jewish people, the latent potential of Shiva Asar B'Tammuz is one of great hope. The Davidic monarchy and dynasty was conceived on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. That's why it is our tradition that Shiva Asar B'Tammuz will turn into a great Yom Tov for the Jewish people. Tzoim haravi yeh lebeis Yehuda l'sasen l'simcha. That's why on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, Aaron tells the people, Chag l'Hashem machar. It will be a holiday of Hashem. What was he referring to? The Chidah says, because in the far off future, yesh machar la'achar zman, Shiva Asar B'Tammuz will be a great Yom Tov. How then do we view this experiment of the United States of America? On the one hand, the United States of America has been the single greatest haven for the Jewish people in the Gullus. There has been a supernatural amount of flourishing of Torah in the United States of America. We have yeshivas today with thousands of students, the likes of which we haven't seen in our history. An entire era HaTorah. This is all thanks to the Medina Shel Chesed of the United States of America. And on the other hand, there has been a great churban that has come to the Jewish people through this Medina. The assimilation rate in our country is 70%. More Jews have disappeared in the United States of America in the spiritual Holocaust, in the spiritual wasteland, even more than during the Holocaust. So, the United States, for Klal Yisrael, is symbolized by Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. It has been a makom of churban, and it has been a makom of great hope. And it is just like it is up to us to transform Shiva Asar B'Tammuz into a Yom Tov, that if we're able to be masakein those areas that need tikkun, Shiva Asar B'Tammuz indeed will be transformed into a Yom Tov. Likewise, it is our avodah, it is our responsibility to make sure that the experiment of 248 years ago that happened on Shiva Asar B'Tammuz is utilized in the proper way, so that this Medina Shel Chesed will continue to bring Aliyah and Chesed to Klal Yisrael. But viewing the United States of America through the prism of the day that it was founded gives us a very important picture of how to view this haven that the Rebbeinu Shalom has provided us with, which our tradition is that there will be 10 exiles the Jewish people endure before the coming of Mashiach. Says Reb Chaim Volozhiner, last one is Galus America. That began Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. Be'ezus Hashem, Tzaim Haravi, Yeh LaBeis Yehuda, LaSasain, ULaSimcha, ULaMayadim Tovim.